We are living through a profound shift in the architecture of global finance, one driven not by central bankers or international treaties, but by a relentless force of disclosure. A new era, defined by digital transparency, is systematically dismantling the walls of financial secrecy that have stood for generations. This isn't just a story about individual scandals. It's about a structural revolution. The periodic emergence of large-scale data leaks has acted as a powerful catalyst, exposing the intricate legal and geographic frameworks that allow capital to move in near invisibility across the globe. The real consequence of this is a direct and forceful collision between this exposed reality and the policymakers tasked with governing the global economy. We are witnessing, in real time, how disclosure is becoming the primary engine for rewriting the rules of international finance. It's a quiet but seismic change, and it's happening right now. For decades, the mechanisms of cross-border finance operated under a principle of plausible deniability. Complex chains of shell companies, trusts and secrecy jurisdictions, and layers of legal opacity created a shadow system that ran parallel to the formal, everyday economy. Think of it as a hidden network of pipes, moving vast sums of money completely out of sight. The economic impacts of this system, as estimated by major institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, are systemic and staggering. We're talking about an annual loss of hundreds of billions of dollars in corporate tax revenue. This isn't just a number. It's money that could be funding schools, hospitals, and infrastructure. It also distorts foreign direct investment patterns and makes global inequality even worse. Now, here's the crucial part. This system didn't function because people were breaking the law. It functioned because the laws themselves were being expertly used, creating a massive gap between a company's legal form and its economic substance. And it was in this gap, this gray area, where secrecy thrived. The catalyst for change has been the sequential nature of major data disclosures. Each event has acted not as an isolated shock, but as a compounding policy trigger. Think of it like a series of dominoes. LuxLeaks in 2014, the Panama Papers in 2016, the Paradise Papers in 2017, and the Pandora Papers in 2021, each one built on the last, revealing more of the hidden picture. Researchers and institutions like the European University Institute have analyzed this as a policy feedback loop. Initial leaks created immense public and political pressure, leading to a first generation of reforms. But then, subsequent disclosures exposed the limitations and loopholes of those very same reforms. This forced policymakers back to the drafting table, but this time, they had much more precise intelligence on the evasion techniques that were still being used. It has become a cycle of exposure and adaptation. The leaks effectively provide a real-world audit of how well financial regulations are working. The result is that anonymized data patterns, the raw facts of how money is moving, are now driving the regulatory agenda more than political ideology. This has directly translated into a new generation of aggressive, technocratic policy tools. The most significant of these is the global rollout of automatic information exchange under the Common Reporting Standard, or CRS, which is overseen by the OECD. As of 2023, over 100 jurisdictions are systematically and automatically sharing financial account data with each other. This fundamentally changes the risk calculus of trying to hide assets abroad. Suddenly, it's much harder to be invisible. Alongside this, a powerful new norm is emerging. Public registries of beneficial ownership. The European Union, the United Kingdom, and a growing list of other countries are implementing databases that strip away the corporate veil. These registries require the disclosure of the real people who ultimately own and control companies. These aren't just minor tweaks to the system. They represent a philosophical shift from accepting legal structures at face value to demanding the disclosure of economic reality. The impact of all this is bifurcating the financial world. On one side, a fortified formal economy is emerging, one characterized by compliance, transparency, and declared assets. This is the world of the CRS and public registries. On the other side, capital and innovation are pushing into new frontiers of opacity. We're seeing a measurable migration of secrecy-seeking activity towards jurisdictions that are not compliant with the CRS, and into more complex, unregulated asset classes. Furthermore, the tools of disclosure are themselves evolving at a rapid pace. The next front in this battle is digital. Blockchain forensic firms like Chainalysis now provide governments with powerful tools to trace cryptocurrency flows, demystifying a once opaque world. At the same time, artificial intelligence is being deployed to analyze vast public datasets to uncover hidden ownership networks and patterns that a human could never spot. The great disclosure era is thus an arms race, where each regulatory advancement prompts a strategic shift to the next vulnerable point in the system. So, where does this leave us? The era of absolute financial secrecy is conclusively over. That chapter has closed. What we have entered is a permanent state of negotiated transparency. The relentless pressure of disclosures has moved the Overton window of policy, the range of ideas the public is willing to consider and accept. We've gone from discussing what was politically feasible to implementing what is technically necessary to secure the financial system. The fundamental trade-off between individual privacy and collective transparency is being recalibrated on a global scale. Even the concept of national sovereignty is being redefined. In this new world, sovereignty isn't just about controlling your borders, it's about having the capacity to control and audit the financial flows that move through them. This isn't a moral reckoning, driven by outrage over rich individuals. It's a systemic one, driven by the need for a stable and fair global economy. The Great Disclosure era has proven one thing beyond a doubt. In a deeply interconnected digital world, secrecy is a fragile asset. The enduring legacy of this period will not be the specific names revealed in sensational headlines. The true legacy will be the irreversible hardening of the international financial infrastructure system being rebuilt, one exposed vulnerability at a time, for a more transparent future. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this look into the changing world of global finance interesting, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more deep dives into the systems that shape our world. See you next time.